Good afternoon and welcome to the Zonghua Secondary School right here in sunny Singapore. It's been a bright and early day and very interesting to see what we have in store for you. It's going to be that super speedy game which involves, well, a bit of skill, a lot of physical exertion and more importantly strategy. It's badminton, and today we have the third and fourth place positions being fought for in the final of the South Zone B Division Girls Championship. This is in the National School Games happening right here in 2021. The players who are on board for today representing St. Margaret's in green and white, it's Celeste Changin Jia, and for Amokyo it will be Jiang Shangyi. She is in black and purple, so very easy to recognize the two girls. Interesting battle. Just to give you the format, it's going to be the singles first, followed by a doubles game, then the second singles match, and finally you do have the second doubles game, followed by a third singles. Now here's the basic format or the rules. If there is a 3-0 or a 3-1 score as far as the teams are concerned, then that team of course will win. But we shall play out the games right till the end. So a bit of warm-up happening right here on the court. Simultaneously, while this battle is on for the third and fourth position, I've got my good friend Nigel, who's covering the final, which is Raffles Girls School Secondary, facing off at Fairfield Methodist School Secondary. My name is Glenn Mascarenas, and we do hope that you enjoy this entire coverage of the badminton right here at the Zonghua Secondary School. So do stay with us with the girls warm-up. We've got the scorers on the side as well, and more importantly, we are also going to have just a view of what the school looks like. You've got a fan up there which probably doesn't get turned on most times. Keep in mind the fact that that could make the shuttlecock drift, or the birdie as we call it. We also have very, very important bits to remember about, well, games like table tennis and badminton, where you do have to keep the wind draft out. So that means no coolers, no air conditioning, and definitely there's a bit of silence. The squeak on those smooth flows, well, that's what you'll get from the girls' footwear. So we're ready to start off, and it's going to be Celeste Changin Jia of St. Margaret's to start off with the serve. All eyes focused on her, and we enter the game. Well, just putting in a bit of power and exertion to take the point and the serve. And it's Jiang Shangyi of Amokyo who will now serve, 1 point up. And once again, decent placement from her to keep that lead. Well, just making her opponent, Celeste, stretch a bit. Staying in control of the game, so important. Oh, lovely touch. Absolutely lovely touch. It's moments like this where you can pull in the points without having to really work too hard towards it. And once again, holding on to the lead. It's Jiang Shangyi, who's now 4 points ahead. That's just gone wide off the line, so a bit of a lease of life for Celeste Changin. Lovely return there. Just aiming for the drop, but couldn't quite complete it, Celeste Changin. So it's back to Jiang Shangyi. Now still leads by 5 points ahead of the pack. It's going to be interesting to see how she controls this game. And once again, staying very much in control of not only her shots, but just making her opponent work a little bit. And that's so important, so important. And the girl from Amokyo Oh, lovely touch this time from Celeste Chang Yin of St. Margaret's to win the serve back. She still likes 6 points behind, but there's always, well, an error that could send the birdie back to the Amokyo Secondary School, where Xiang Chang-yi will serve. Oh, beautifully done by Celeste Chang Yin. Well, just that gentle touch, just got it over the line. No reply possible there from this young this time around. And just gets it within the line. So to stretch a lead now. Well, she's got, well, that shot right so many times over. Just a gentle touch over the net, trying to go a bit cross-court. But this time it's Celeste who gets the benefit of the doubt. That's just out of the line. So it's once again down to Amokyo Secondary, who got the lead. And, well, the break after Xiang Chang-yi has reached 11 points. So she's got the 7-point lead. Just a few words there with the coaches, and that's what makes the difference when it comes to, well, every little timeout that you get in any game will always derive some result in terms of what the performance can be. It can break the momentum. It can actually bring a player back into the game. But right now, Xiang Chang-yi of Amokyo Secondary very much in control. She's played a very, very well, good opener so far. Just put the pressure on Celeste Chang Yin Chia. And she will restart with the serve, a leading 11-4. Here's Yang. Well, just the net luck, I'd say, as always. Well, the net sometimes doesn't allow you through, but the net will in a rally. A lovely flick of the wrist from Celeste. Gentle touch. A beautiful return. And well done. Absolutely delightful rally between the girls, Celeste Chang Yin and Xiang Chang-yi, with Xiang winning that. Oh, packed a good bit of power into that and direction to win the serve back. So Celeste to serve now. She's at 6 points. Xiang at 12. That one sails out of the line. So staying in the lead. It's or staying with the serve. It's Celeste Chang Yin. Powerful return there. Very powerful return and pinpoint accuracy from the Amokyo goal. And that's what you call control. Just staying, well, very much in command of that rally. Xiang Chang-yi stretches her lead now to 7 points ahead. It's 14-7. Oh, gently does it. Celeste did want to get that back in, but just missing out on the line. And that's a big stretch now. All the way to 9 points ahead of Celeste Chang Yin. That's Xiang Chang-yi still holding serve. Oh, lovely touch. That would go both ways. And Celeste Chang Yin of St. Margaret's fighting back. We'll have a change of the birdie. Bit of wear and tear. That's a decent return from Celeste. She does well to stay in this. Just slowly reducing that gap in the points. And this time just failing to get that across the net, so it's back to Xiang Shangyi. Always just looking for that light touch, but failed to scale the net this time around. Well, absolutely perfect placement there by Xiang Shangyi. He's got a lovely return of serve, the ability to knock back most of the shots, and that's what really matters. But this time, it's Celeste Zhang In who will serve now. Oh, good bit of a wallop in that shot. Oh, that's placement. That's perfect placement once again from Xiang Shangyi. So we are on the first, well, set point, and should just have to wait a little bit, stretch it out a bit. No game point here in the first session. Should still be kept in waiting. Celeste Zhang In certainly making a work for it now. And that's pretty much it. So Xiang Shangyi will take the first game 21-12. And it's been a very, very controlled performance from her. We move on to the second game, the change of side, as is always mandatory. And well, a few words there from the coach to Celeste Zhang In from St. Margaret's. And Xiang Shangyi will also get a few words from her coach. So it's interesting to see how the second game pans out. Sometimes it's all about reading your opponent's game and getting well into the groove. And once you figure that out, it really makes things a lot easier. But in most cases, it does become a bit of a hindrance if you can't read your opponent's game, and then you do get lost in the maze. Very interesting how, well, during these tough times right here in COVID situation, well, Singapore School Sports Council, getting this entire contest on the road. It's taken a good bit of planning, a good bit of cooperation from all the schools, and wonderful to see the kids get, or the children get back up and into practice, back out to perform for a physical and strategical alliance. So a very interesting turn of events right here. This is the South Zone B Division Girls Championship, St. Margaret's Secondary School and Amokyo Secondary School facing off. The first game of the contest, and it's Xiang of Amokyo to serve. Celeste of St. Margaret's the opponent, and she does win the first point. So interesting here. The girl from the Amokyo Secondary School has been very much in control of the game. Leads by 1 point. And that's again just that deft placement that's required, and the ability to keep off long rallies and nail it as soon as possible. Well, that's been a good measure from her. Just waiting for the line call, and this time it's Celeste who does get it on the line. So she will serve, just a point behind Xiang. That's out again, so we are on par this time, 2 points each. And just a slight, well, I wouldn't say loss of concentration, but Xiang trying to get settled. And she's made a few mistakes. I wonder whether it's the, sometimes it's also the side of the court that you're on. Some players do prefer facing away from the audience. And that's been quite a run here for Celeste. It's 5 points in a row. Can she keep up this momentum? And that is so important. Oh, lovely touch there from Chiang. Oh, that was a beautiful rally till it ended. Chiang topping it off. Will now serve 3 points to 5. Well done by Celeste Chang-yin. Get back into this game. That packed in a good bit of a wallop. That certainly did. So Celeste leads 6 points to 3. Packed in a good bit of a punch once again. Jiang Changyi, she does that so well. She's just got the right amount of power behind it and direction. And this time, a quick reply from Celeste Chang-yin. And Celeste still holding the lead, 3 points ahead. Oh, that's absolutely wonderful play from Jiang Changyi. Just the right amount of pressure, just the right amount of that touch. And that certainly was within the line. Sometimes, well, those unforced errors can really change the complexity of a game, but it's Jiang who's now 2 points behind. Celeste still in the driver's seat, and that's where she'll remain for the time being as she serves at 9 points to 6. That had just the right amount of power and the perfect angle. So claiming the serve back, Xiang. But not for too long. They're actually going head to head here now. It's still a slight margin of a lead, 3 points to be precise for Celeste. Both players doing the absolute best to keep in with the points count, and well, that's a good call from Celeste to wait that out. So as it stands currently, Celeste Chang-yin in the lead in the second game. It's not a very huge margin, but it's comfortable enough with 4 points. Let's not forget, the breaks always make the difference. And this could be in terms of well, breaking the momentum, speeding up the momentum, or changing the entire strategy. And so important as words from those coaches, because normally, besides you reading the game on court, it's really the coaches who read the game better. They know your skills and strengths, and they know how to apply them. So sometimes it's all about not playing to the gallery, but playing to your skills and strengths. And it's very interesting now to see what transpires in this part of the game. It's been a good fight here. Celeste to serve. And that's exactly what I did mean. 3 words from the coach do make the difference. It's now 8 points to 11. Jiang Changyi to serve. This time Celeste will claim it back. She serves at 12 points. Well, that's what I'd call a killer shot, not once but twice. Just making sure that she's not leaving any gaps open for losing a point. Jiang Changyi. Outstanding play once again. Well, both the goals have been impressive. But just outside the line, was aiming for that perfect angle this time. Celeste Chang Yin. Just a point separating the two. And now it's even Stevens here. First game of the third and fourth place, and Xiang Changyi going into the lead for the first time in this game. Or the second time, sorry. Lost that lead at 2 points. Or can Celeste hold it together? So important to keep that momentum going. Beautiful power on that shot. And well done. Just a bit of a stumble there for Celeste Chang Yin, but Xiang Changyi very much in control. One of the key elements to remember in the game of badminton, the only thing that's legally allowed is the break in momentum, whether it's for a player taping up their feet, getting their feet, their soles dry, or more importantly, just a few words with a coach. And that's what changes the complexity of the game. It makes it even more wonderful to watch. And you see the results of the differences the moment the players get back on. So Celeste winning the serve back. It's now 13 to 5 to 15, sorry. Very, very interesting. And she's got that on the line. Well, quick play from Xiang Changyi to claim the serve back again. She's at 16 points. Oh, good attempt there from Celeste Chang Yin. Kept us delighted with those returns. Just proving to be a bit too much. Net play sometimes can be really exhausting. And Xiang Changyi, well, she's actually caught Celeste on that shot a couple of times over, going cross-court. Just a light flick. So Celeste Chang Yin to serve back again. She's now at 15 points. Sang at 18. Let's make that 16-18. It's wonderful to see the girl from St. Margaret's fight back. This one will sail out of line. And claiming the serve back again. It's Celeste is now at 17 points. She's got to stay in this game. And, well, she is just a point behind now. Well, going in for the shot serve. Good bit of flight on that from Xiang. And that's game point once again for Xiang Changyi. And she's still in it. She's very much in it, Celeste Chang Yin. Serves at 19. And just looking to finish that off. Well, that's what she was doing. So that's pretty much it with the first game of, or the first challenge between Ang Mo Kio Secondary and St. Margaret's. Good fight put up there by Celeste Chang Yin, but it's Xiang Changyi who wins it. 21-12, 21-19 in the second game. And you can just look at that, a change from Celeste Chang Yin to actually stretch the points, made a total fight out of this. So Ang Mo Kio Secondary, well, wins the first game through Xiang Changyi. The second will be the doubles, which kicks off in just a little bit. And that, of course, is an entirely different I wouldn't say ball game, but birdie game, because it involves more speed, it involves coordination, and of course it involves a sync between each players. Two players playing as if they were one. So very good performance put up here by the Amokyo young lady. That's Xiang Changi, who will get a bit of a rest, and the coaches will have a few words with her about the condition of the badminton court, the surface, more than anything else. Because it's always good to stay in the know-how for the next few players who are going to take the stage for their performance. So getting ready to come on in just a little bit, it's going to be Ang Cheng-yi of St. Margaret's and Tiffany Yoyai for Amokyo. It's going to be Nachir Amithaniguchi and Tan Jamin.
By the way, help me, I don't know.
So we're on to the first doubles of the South Zone Division Girls Championship. It's St. Margaret's Secondary facing off with Amokyo Secondary School. And that's a quick return there from Ami for Amokyo Secondary School. Just let me get you introduced to the girls. Well, it's Ang Cheng-yi and Tiffany Yoyai for St. Margaret's. For Amokyo, Nachir Amithaniguchi and Tanjamin. Ami serving. Well, awesome returns there for a bit, but it is the Amokyo young ladies who will hold on to those points. And 3 points in the bag now as Ami serves. And unforced errors, well, always a gift for the opposition. So it's over now to St. Margaret's goals. And just a, well, fault call there. So we move on now to Jamin to serve for Amokyo. Ami just safeguarding the back area. Beautiful placement there from the young lady of Amokyo. They're still holding on to that lead over St. Margaret's. Good bit of concentration and thought in every serve. Looking for the placement there, Ami, but she will hand over the serve this time to St. Margaret, and it's going to be and that sailed just out of line. So holding on to the serve, St. Margaret, Changi to take the serve. Lovely flick there from Ami. Just enough to win the serve back as they lead 7 points to 3. So putting that out of the line. And it's 8 points now for Amokyo Secondary. Failing to scale the net. And it's over now to Tiffany Yeo to take the serve for St. Margaret's. And once again, that flick works. She's been able to do that a couple of times over. Nachiar Ami Taniguchi. Well, looking for the angle, but puts it right off the line. Jamin. So she's returned that easy. So it's back to Amokyo Secondary to serve. Ami. Returned by Tiffany Yeo. And unable to pick that up. Just a bit too quick for Tiffany Yeo. So 11 points to 5. Amokyo Secondary School lead. And that's through Nachiarami Taniguchi and Tanjamin. Ang Chang-yi and Tiffany Yeo-Yai of St. Margaret's, well, battling this out. It's the first game of this doubles matchup. We've had one singles that is down, and that was where Jiang Chang-yi pulled off a win for Amokyo Secondary against Celeste Chang-in-ja of St. Margaret's. Very interesting to see what transpires in the doubles matchup here. It's been quite a different ride for the girls getting here. Amokyo played off with Songhua Secondary School and they beat them 4-1 in the quarterfinals. St. Margaret's, on the other hand, defeated Chi Secondary of Topayo 5-0. And then St. Margaret's did lose to Fairfield Methodist 5-0. While Amokyo lost to Raffles Girls School 5-0 as well. So we're back after the break, and it's Ami serving at 12 points. Well, the two young ladies from Amokyo still holding that momentum even after the break. Oh, beautifully done. Just swatted that down. Absolutely no chance for a reply. Taking the St. Margaret's goals by surprise. Amokyo Secondary is still holding it together, and it's a bit of an interesting piece on that combination of the goals. Well, Ami unable to scale the net. We'll hand it back to the St. Margaret's young ladies. So if you look at it very clearly, Ami a right-hander while Jamin is a left-hander. Almost the perfect combination for doubles. It has its benefits. But this time, Tiffany Yeo holding strong. Just making sure that she's got the birdie still in her side. Lovely placement there from Ami once again. And they're just inching closely towards, well, the end. It's now 16 points to 7. Jamin with the serve. That was called a fault. So it's back to the goals from St. Margaret. Lovely return from Jamin. And that one, well, really put into a perfect spot by Changi. And she will serve. Lovely placement for Ami. But St. Margaret's fighting back. Always a delight to see that. So Tiffany unable to pick that up. A rather quick movement coming in from Jamin. The pace factor always so important when it comes to flicking that birdie across. Lovely serve from Ami. And beautiful placement by Jamin. Just wonderful to watch the girls from Amokyo. They've been in sync. Very strong coordination. And this time it's back to St. Margaret, where Tiffany will serve. 11 points to 18. Still holding on to that fight. It's Tiffany Yeo. But sometimes the unforced error on the serve can be quite a niggling bother. Ami just failing to execute that smash entirely. And it's going to be Changi to serve. Jamin with another unforced error. So 14 points. Well done there by Tiffany Yeo to keep those points together. Just missing out on that touch, and she will be upset about that. But having said that, it's now game point here for Amokyo secondary, and Ami looking to finish that off. They've done it in style. It's been a decent game, not a one-sided affair for certain. The St. Margaret's girls fighting back, but Nachiarami Taniguchi and Tanjamin pulling off the first win for Amokyo secondary. 21-15 the final score. It's going to be a change of sides, and just noticed, of course, Tiffany Yeo of St. Margaret's has that very unique serve. Pulls it out only once in a while. Well, so does Jamin of Amokyo. Just a gentle serve that looks like it's going to spin, but a gentle placement over the net. You're looking at keeping it as close to the net as possible without any sort of a fault involved. Well, if you're a big fan of badminton, you would know that in the years gone by, the Sidek brothers, Chiliani Sidek and his siblings, had invented that extremely powerful spin game, which was later on banned. It was just like using speed glue on a tennis bat was banned on a table tennis racket. So it's the same. The spin game was never really allowed, but to master it, to innovate it, that was extremely commendable and for viewers. But it just put the other players who did not use that sort of a game at risk, and kind of seemed like an imbalance in the sport, which is not something that's needed. But wonderful to see innovators and creators come up with those kind of, well, you know, odd bits and bobs. It was shut down later on. Well, there is a bit of spin that you can use, but not entirely the way the Sidek brothers once did it. And here it's Jamin serving in the second game. Good return of serve there from Cheng-yi. Tiffany Yu powering away through. He just finds it a bit difficult with those return shots at the end, and Amokyo secondary still holding on. Jamin. Good backup plan there from Ami. So it's 1-all here. Tiffany Yu with the serve. Cheng-yi. Sent one down. You just get the feeling that every time there's a change of sides, oh, beautiful return. Absolutely beautiful return there from Cheng-yi. Well, slammed that down nice and hard. She's won the serve and the point. Got to credit Jamin for it. So 2 points to 3. It's Ami who will serve for Amokyo secondary. Puts that into the net, returns the favor back to the girls from St. Margaret's. Cheng-yi. And the girls just matching their errors here. Just enough of push there from Jamin. Flighting the ball but unable to return that. Cheng-yi almost got back into it. So Amokyo secondary on par now. Oh, that's power play. That's absolute power play there from the Amokyo young ladies. Jamin with the finish, and she will serve. A lovely touch from Tiffany, and an apology there for the net being the aid. And it's back to the girls from Amokyo secondary, who now lead by 1 point. But sometimes leaving, well, the drop of the birdie can be detrimental. Sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise. It's Ami to serve for Amokyo. Oh, wonderfully done there by Tiffany Yu of St. Margaret's. And it's neck and neck for the time being. Just a point behind. Cheng-yi with the serve. And smart enough return from Tiffany Yu. So even Stevens back again at 7 points each. Oh, they're staying in it. They're definitely staying in it. St. Margaret's is here for the fight. Remember, 3rd and 4th place on the line. While simultaneously, of course, we've got the finals on between Raffles Girls' School and Fairfield Methodist. And you can catch coverage of that with my friend Nigel. But for now, it's back to the action on my side of the fence. And serving at 8 points to 9 is Jamin. I wanted to put that away, but just having a slight bit of trouble with getting the contact point right. Tiffany Yu. Oh, wonderful play. Wonderful play, but the young ladies of Amokyo staying in control for a bit. 1 point ahead. Jamin with that gentle serve. Ami, of course, ensuring the finish. And here we are, the first break. 11 points to 9. That's where it stands with Amokyo Secondary School. Well, I'd say not comfortably ahead, but they are in the driver's seat. And they've got, of course, the first singles that was won. This is the first doubles of the day. coaches will have a word with the ladies. So we're just running you through what happened in the quarterfinals, where Ang Mo Kio Secondary School defeated Zonghua Secondary School 4-1, and then of course they did fall to Raffles Girls School Secondary 5-0. As far as St. Margaret's go, they defeated Chi Secondary of Toa Payoh, Chu Secondary, they defeated them 5-0, and then they fell later on to Fairfield Methodist 5-0. So into the second game of the doubles encounter here, or into the second part of the doubles encounter here, where after the break it's Ang Mo Kio who will win that serve back from St. Margaret's. Currently the score at 12-10. Ami to serve. Well, as that steps low and lower, it does become a bit difficult to keep your racket straight, and Cheng Yi winning the battle here. So 11-12. This is certainly turning out to be an extremely close game, even closer than the first one. A beautiful part shot and a lovely return as well. So Jamin does well to win the serve back, just staying a few inches ahead of the contest. Of the competition rather. It's Jamin for her school. Tiffany Yeo does well. She certainly does well this time. Well, Tiffany with the serve, and she's just, as I said earlier, had just a few worries with her racket, composing herself. And we're on to Ami with the serve. But we will be surprised at the athletic skill of these girls, but just putting it out of the line was Jamin this time. Talk about quick play. So it's back to Ang Mo Kio Secondary. Jamin with the serve. Quick reply there from Tiffany Yeo, which means St. Margaret's will now serve at 15-all. Tiffany. Ami will making sure that she's won a point. Ami to serve for Ang Mo Kio Secondary. Still just a point ahead. Cheng Yi with the return. Well, just pulls out those rabbits out of the hat every now and then. Pushes them back in the hat when she hits an unforced error, but the girls from St. Margaret's have provided us with some very unique shots. Ami puts that into the net. The girls from Ang Mo Kio have been delightful with their speed and almost perfect coordination. Looking to just break the momentum a bit and just to make sure her soles aren't too sticky. So here we are back again. Tiffany with the serve. And wonderfully done there. Absolutely delightful shot from Cheng Yi. So St. Margaret's now in the lead by a single point. Can they hold on to that? Tiffany will serve for St. Margaret's. And just making sure that they're staying on level footing. It's Ami for Ang Mo Kio, serving at 18-all. That's a lot of line. That's, I'd say, a lucky lead. You definitely want to get your racket there. So wisely left by Cheng Yi. And lovely shot from Ami to put that away. Staying in the game. Staying in the game, that's what they're doing. Lovely play there from St. Margaret's. And it's pretty much at deuce. So just earning that. They've done well. Point ahead. Remember, it's a difference of 2 we're looking for. And just finishing it at the end. It's been a tough fight, but Natchiarami Taniguchi and Tanjiro Min winning it, winning the first doubles encounter between the two schools. Very interesting results. It was 21-15 and 22-20. The second game going to do so. Set point and a match for the girls from Amokyo. So they've actually got the lead with 2 points ahead of St. Margaret's. Lovely fight put up by St. Margaret's, and all credit to Ang Chen Yi and Tiffany Yeo Yai for putting on such a spirited performance and a delightful game to watch in the end. So we are going to go on to the third singles, and this is a crucial one for St. Margaret's. They'll have to win it if they want to stay in the contest. If they do lose this battle, then it will be Amokyo Secondary School that have pulled off the win. So very interesting turn of events here, and let's find out what exactly transpires. It's been a commanding performance from the girls. We've had a few good moments, a few fights, and definitely, well, skill and strategy from the youngsters are brought to the fore. Keep in mind the fact that some of these stars, you never know, you might see them in the future representing the country, playing at the nationals at a senior level, and this is where it all starts. That just that nurturing, the coaching, so important in times like this. So we're on to the third singles, and it's going to be Eungyu Ning Natalie and Yon Yamomi Shui to take on each other. And for St. Margaret's, it's Eungyu Ning Natalie. That's always been quite a test of skill, and right here in the National School Games, South Zone B Division Girls Championship 2021, we are in the midst of a battle for the third and fourth position in at the Zonghua Secondary School, and this is being fought between St. Margaret Secondary School and Amokyo Secondary School, where Amokyo currently lead by winning the first singles and the doubles matchup. So here we are on to the third event between the two schools. Remember, regardless of the outcome, there's a lot of hard work and preparation that goes into the sport. Time spent in school, a good bit of discipline, It's not always fun and games when you play at this level. It's also a certain amount of dedication and focus. And we'll get to see that for the third time around here today as we get ready to start off with the game. St. Margaret's, it's Yuning to serve. Oh, Natalie Yuning. Just giving that birdie a good bit of flight, and that's put away rather quickly by Crystal Leon, who will win the first point and the serve as well for Amokyo Secondary. And just making that look a bit easy, staying in control in the first two shots. Well, lift, touch, and then execute. That's what she's been doing, and she's done it for the third time around. So 3 points ahead. Just putting the questions out there to Natalie Yuning of St. Margaret's. And there's the reply. Well, she's just got back into it. Natalie Yuning to serve, 1 point to 3. And winning it back again, it's Crystal. Don't normally see too many players who flight the birdie a great distance. It's always standard. And Natalie Yuning, well, has got that ability to, it's got a bit of a unique serve. Here's Crystal Leon. Well, almost does it for her. So winning the serve back, Natalie Yuning for St. Margaret's. She's now serving 2 points to 5. That's exactly what I meant, just that gentle lift in the serve. It's a bit unique from her end. Can leave you open to attacks as well, but that is her style of serve. Likes to stretch it a bit. And just drawing closer now. Natalie Yuning is now a point behind Crystal Leon. Well, almost seemed like a rally that would go on a bit more, but Crystal Leon winning this one out. Great shot selection and placement from her. The young lady from Amokyo Secondary doing well. But this time it's back to Natalie Yuning. And the birdie just switching sides time and over again. Fairly close, I'd say, as Crystal Leon now leads by 2 points to 5 to Natalie Yuning. And let's cut that down to 1 point. Serving at 6 points. Here's Natalie. Just one bounce, almost seemed like a good drop there, but Crystal Leon holds her own. Staying very focused on the game. The young lady from Amokyo. In a picture of concentration. A lovely return there. Oh, beautifully done. 10 on 10 there to Crystal Leon. Oh, that's beautiful placement. Credit where credit is due always, and Natalie Yuning does well. So 11 points in the first break. As we can see, well, Crystal Leon in the driver's seat in this game, but it's been a decent enough fight from Natalie Yuning of St. Margaret's Secondary School. Well, sometimes reading the game is probably the most important bit of knowing your opponent's skill and strategy. Crystal Leon starts off after the break with the serve. Just being unable to lift that right at the end. Natalie Yuning. Crystal just taking advantage of that cross-court shot. It's done it a couple of times in today's match-up here. Now let's very quickly look at what's happening on, well, the neighboring stage. And that's really where Raffles Girls School is battling Fairfield Methodist Secondary School for their final, which is for the first and the second place. And currently, as it stands in their game, it's Raffles Girls School Secondary that leads by 2 points to Fairfield Methodist School. And it's pretty much the same year where Amokyo Secondary School leads by 2 points after winning the first singles and doubles. We are into the second singles of the day, and it's Crystal Leon of Amokyo Secondary who will serve at 14 points. Well done by Natalie Yuning to stay in this contest. She's now serving at 11 points. Well, almost does it for Crystal. Was just looking for that gentle touch. Just a gentle lift. Will compose herself. Oh, she did go across for that one. Well done by Crystal Leon. And controlled, totally controlled that one. The young lady from Amokyo Secondary. She's now leading 16-12. Bit of flight on that serve. And stretching that lead now to 5 points. At this time, once again, Crystal Leon holding her own, 3 points away from game point. Now 2 points away. It's been a few straight points for her, unwilling to let go of that lead. Well, almost does it for Natalie Yuning. She's had a few, well, troubling times, but it's game point, and first game done. Crystal Leon of Amokyo Secondary, well, has her foot on the pedal here. A few words from the coaches as we have a change of sides. So it wasn't, well, the easiest. So 21-12, the first game. Remember, the second game now crucial for Natalie Yuning to stay in the fight. And if she can, well, pull off a win here, she will take it to the third game. Crystal Leon looking fairly confident Let's remind you once again that this is pretty much the third and the fourth place battle between Amokyo Secondary School and St. Margaret's Secondary School. And at the adjoining badminton court, of course, it's a fight on between Raffles Girls Secondary School and Fairfield Methodist Secondary School, where Raffles lead 2 points to nil after winning their first singles and doubles. It's the same with Amokyo Secondary School, who lead 2 points to nil. And into the second game of the second singles. Crystal Leon with the serve. Should hold on to that serve for a bit longer. So 2 points in the bag. Natalie Yuning battling out. And well, racing away with 3 straight points. And it's over now to Natalie Yuning, who serves at 1 point to 3. Does like to keep her serve a bit more slower than most other world players. Crystal Leon putting the serve back. Always seemed like she was in control of the game right through. So Crystal Leon using her skill as best as she can, but a very crucial game for Natalie Yuning. Just a bit of pressure there to keep her school well in the running. Well, it's easier to play without that pressure, but sometimes, as the old saying goes, pressure makes diamonds. So here we are, back to Crystal Leon, who's just doing enough to stay ahead of her opponent. But now, Natalie Yuning to serve 3 points behind. Willing to give up the fight, and that's so important in a contest, especially when it involves, well, representing your school, your JC, university, or even the state, the country. There's always that added bit of pressure. So Crystal Leon, yeah, just another unforced error, which will hand the serve back to Natalie Yuning. Young lady from Amokyo Secondary gets it back again. And holding on to her lead, that original 3 points that she started with, it's now 8 points to 5 for Crystal. Just a reminder that this is the National School Games, a badminton contest, South Zone B Division Girls Championship 2021. Remember, it's organized by the Singapore Schools Sports Council. A very good initiative, not just to give, well, the girls a chance to represent their schools, but also to bring out the best in their, well, strategy, discipline, gameplay, and great building blocks for the future, if you ask me. stretching that lead to 4 points. Crystal Yon. So it's 10 points to 6. Remember, there will be a break if she does make the 11. Almost does it for her. Natalie Yuning. Well, just looks like she's tiring a bit. Needs to get herself back into the contest, and I think she needs that break because it's now the first break. Crystal Yon, 11 points in the bag, leads by 4 points here. Margaret Yuning, I think just a bit of fatigue setting in for her. And while we do, of course, see the contest on, let's not forget that the next doubles, well, the next doubles players will also warming up for their contest, and they'll be well on court sooner than later. A lovely placement there from Crystal Yon. That's what you want to do, stretch your opponents across the court before the final kill. And she's done it again. I'll just get the feeling that Natalie Yuning is losing just a little bit of, well, focus and concentration. She struggled a bit in this game, unlike the first game. A few unforced errors, and Crystal Yon now stretching a lead all the way to 7 points. Calm and composed. And this time it's a much needed point and serve for Natalie Yuning. So serving at 8 points, 6 points behind her opponent. Let's make that 7 points again. I just wonder whether either the heat or the activity has just got to her a bit much. And Margaret Yuning, it's not looking as brightly as the first game. Crystal Yon has laboured on, kept his same momentum, carried it over from the first game. That's been so interesting. So racing away with the points now, Crystal Yon of Ang Mo Kio Secondary. And just 2 points away now from match point. Oh, well done. Absolutely well done by Crystal Yon. Just using the entire width of the court there. And here she is at match point. And well done. Well, the second game just a breeze for Crystal Yon of Ang Mo Kio Secondary. She wins the second game 21-8 after winning the first one 21-12. So 21-12, 21-8, the final score. And Crystal Yon of Ang Mo Kio Secondary taking her school straight onto the path for a win and into third position by a wonderful performance there over Natalie Yuning of St. Margaret's Secondary High School. So it is Ang Mo Kio who will win third position with 3 straight wins in the first singles, the first doubles and the second singles encounter. We're on to now the second doubles encounter. This of course will be played out, but as far as we're concerned, Ang Mo Kio Secondary School very clearly taking the third position. These two games will be played out, and I'd call them pride encounters, where Ang Mo Kio Secondary take on St. Margaret's in the doubles. Do stay with us. So welcome back right here at the Zonghua Secondary School. As I said, it's a sunny day in Singapore. It's been really bright and easy. We've had a few delightful games played out between St. Margaret's Secondary School and Ang Mo Kio Secondary School. We are on to the second doubles. Ang Mo Kio really dominating the contest so far. They won all the first three events and the third place position. We are on to the fourth contest. And just to get you acquainted, as Ang Mo Kio do get the serve, it's Siobhan for Ang Mo Kio to serve as they lead by 1 point. Let's make that 2. Joining Siobhan. So one thing on field is Ang Zishan Estelle. So Estelle and Siobhan representing Ang Mo Kio. For St. Margaret's, it's Mavis Lim Shin Ning and Nurul Atika Binti Mohammed Rizal. So Atika and Mavis for St. Margaret's. Here's Estelle to serve. Here's skated past the net. They've still got a decent enough lead, just 1 point. So Mavis. Holding on to the serve. Gets up on her toes. We need that so much for placement sometimes. There's Siobhan for Ang Mo Kio Secondary. And that one sailed wide off the line. So the serve will go back to St. Margaret's. Atika to serve. So Atika holds on to that serve, and St. Margaret's will pulling their own in this one so far. 2 points ahead of the pack. Atika still with it. And Siobhan just about failing to push that back in. But so important sometimes, that gentle lift across the net needed. Push your opponent into serving one up. Oh, lovely shot there from Estelle. Siobhan with a quick return. And beautifully done. Beautifully done by the girls from Ang Mo Kio to hold on to this nice rally. Always the joy of badminton or table tennis or even tennis by itself. But badminton always with the speed factor happens to be just a bit quicker. But those rallies so important, make for such great viewing. But Estelle with the serve and unable to, just misdirected that shot, Siobhan. So St. Margaret's holding on to their lead. And it will be Mavis to serve. Atika trying to knock that back in. But it's over to Siobhan for Ang Mo Kio Secondary. Estelle with a shot. Well, very interesting, both sides of the net actually. The young ladies do have the ability to just pack in the power. They've got a few strong shots, just watching them warm up earlier. A lot of players do rely on, you know, gentle touch and placement, but it's sometimes that power play that really is just that X factor in badminton. And this time around, making use of that, it's Estelle. Just confirming those words. Lovely placement. Oh, beautiful return there from Siobhan earlier, but just proving to be a bit too much. It was Mavis to dominate that finish at the end. 10 points to 7. Mavis to serve for St. Margaret's Secondary School. Talk about placement. Sometimes when you want to leave a shot, it can be a major, well, bother if it does land within the line. 11 points to 7 is where St. Margaret's Secondary lead, and currently as it stands, of course, it's going to be it's going to be a few bits of advice from the coaches. So, right here, the South Zone B Division Girls Championship 2021. Remember, this is the National School Games Badminton, Singapore Schools Sports Council initiative. And the third and fourth place match, well, was capped off by the Amokyo Secondary School, where they won 3-0. We're on to the fourth event between them, where St. Margaret's will just lead in the second doubles, first game of the second doubles. But just to give you a view of who did win the finals, it was Raffles Girls School facing off with Fairfield Methodist School, and Raffles winning 4 of their events. So they are the winners of the South Zone B Division Girls Championship Final 2021. A very interesting turn of events as far as the way the Raffles girls powered themselves through. So Atika doing just enough. Now she will serve for St. Margaret's. Nice return there from Mavis. And just failing to knock that back into the court. Siobhan. Atika back again for St. Margaret's. Oh, that's dominating play from the young lady from St. Margaret's. Does well to hold it together. Now stretching that lead, it's 15-8. Going cross court. That's a fancy move from Siobhan to win the serve back. And it will be Estelle for Amokyo Secondary who will serve. They're 9 points to 15. That's just beyond the line from Atika, so reducing the gap now to 5 points. That's what Amokyo Secondary have done. And that's another point in the bag. Estelle with the serve. Oh, well done by Siobhan. Just backed a good bit of power on that angle. Sometimes can be a bit difficult, well, to return. So, an unforced error from Estelle will return the birdie back to St. Margaret's Secondary. Davis with the serve. Atika looking for the finish, but she's done well to hold the point together. So it means it's now back to that 5-point lead that they had earlier. Well, just missing out on the touch, Mavis. So Siobhan to serve for Amokyo Secondary. Not really getting right behind that return of serve was Mavis. So Amokyo Secondary at 14. Well, took back in a bit of a wallop, but couldn't get the angle right for the execution at the end. Atika, there's Siobhan with the serve. A lovely return from Atika there. So still keeping that slight lead, but Amokyo Secondary fighting back. And St. Margaret's, well, just doing enough to stay ahead. Atika with the serve. A bit of concentration from the girls in green. They've
They're at game point. Oh, lovely shot there. Absolutely delightful shot from Siobhan. And now Estelle with the serve. There's a few game points here for St. Margaret's, and they pulled off their first win of the day, actually, in the games. And fairly impressive from Mavis and Atika. Siobhan and well, Estelle, well, still stretching them, not letting that game go away easy. So we will be on to the second game, a change of sides. And well, just in case you were wondering as to how these young ladies got to where they are currently, it was fairly easy. No, easy as in the road, not the actual games. So Amokyo Secondary School beat Zonghua Secondary School 4-1, but then they fell to Raffles Girls School 5-0. And as far as St. Margaret's go, they beat Chu Secondary in Topayo 5-0, and they had a huge stumbling block when they met Fairfield Methodist School, where they fell 5-0. So almost a similar route to the third and fourth place finish after the quarterfinals for these young ladies, and the semi-finals as well. So now what's interesting is that Raffles have beaten Fairfield Methodist to cap off their finals title in the South Zone B Division Girls Championship. We are on now to our second game in the second doubles. Siobhan and Estelle representing Amokyo Secondary, while for St. Margaret's it's Atika and Mavis. And Mavis to serve. Bit of a battle there from the girls, and Siobhan just using a good bit of wrist power there for that final shot. The lead by 1 point. Siobhan with the serve. Atika unable to power that back, so it's right now 2 points for Amokyo Secondary. Now over to St. Margaret. Atika with the serve. Back to Amokyo Secondary. Well done by the young ladies of Amokyo. Good bit of coordination. Just got onto Mavis's backhand. Was a bit difficult to return that shot. Oh, lovely cross finish there. Absolutely delightful cross finish from Siobhan. And it's Estelle to serve for Amokyo Secondary. And that's another one tapped straight down. So Amokyo Secondary now leading by a fair margin. Oh, Siobhan with the power play. Excellent execution there from her. So Estelle with the serve. Amokyo Secondary leads 7-1. St. Margaret's just winning the serve back. Estelle unable to get right behind that shot. Well, so important in badminton, that focus, your concentration. And more importantly, the ability to predict your opponent's decision of shots and the quick reflexes. So sometimes you've got to plan your reflexes even though you don't really know them. Use of the subconscious. And that's where the footwork comes in, especially when the other end have got a few par shots. Well, both Siobhan and Estelle of Amakyo Secondary, well, they do like to power those shots down and to get it right, 8 out of 10. But here's Atika now serving for St. Margaret's. And that's exactly what I meant. They're looking for the quick finish. They have a good bit of confidence when they power those shots through. Here's Estelle with the serve. Siobhan. Atika turning that back in. They're hoping to get that within the line, but it did sail out. So Amakyo now have raced ahead. They are 10 points to 4. Now up to 5 points. It'll be Mavis serving for St. Margaret's. Oh, that's beautifully done. Absolutely in control of every single shot there, Siobhan. So the tables have turned for this game. The second one, it's 11 points to 5. St. Margaret's, well, did win the first one, but the Amakyo Secondary girls have come back a lot stronger in this second part. Well, let's not forget they did cap off the third place finish, but the last 2 games will be played for pride. And it's so important. It actually gives the opposition a chance to pull a few back. I'll go home with a bit of satisfaction. Fruits of your labor earned. Well, does that happen here today? It's a big question, because as we currently stand, it still is, well, Amakyo Secondary School in the driver's seat. So fighting to stay in this game, it's the Amakyo girls. And if they win this one, then of course it goes on to the best of 3. Here's Siobhan with the serve. Giving that birdie a bit of distance. Lovely finish. Absolutely lovely placement from Estelle. Went cross court for that. Closing down the angle at the net, so important sometimes. But St. Margaret's aren't giving up this one either without a fight. And I think I will serve for St. Margaret's. Siobhan holding it together, making sure that it's back in her side of the court. Yes, Estelle to serve for Amakyo Secondary. Well, almost does it. I did mention that earlier. The young ladies at Amakyo Secondary in this game, they do like those power shots. It's what makes the game exciting. And the St. Margaret's girls doing just enough. They've got actually a very decent technical game. Atika and Mavis, a bit orthodox, but sometimes orthodox is also a good thing. The Amakyo Secondary girls, Siobhan and Estelle, just a bit more flamboyant, stylistic in their execution, and holding on to a comfortable lead. Now they're 15 to 8. Siobhan to serve for Amakyo Secondary. Almost does it. Estelle just unable to return that at the end. And here's Atika with the serve. Estelle, Siobhan. Oh, delightful rally. But the Amakyo Secondary girls winning it in the end. Mavis netting that one. It's now 16 to 9. Well, let's make that 16 to 10. Mavis with the serve. Atika almost with the return. Lovely placement though by Siobhan. Just putting her opponents on the back foot. Now Siobhan will serve. And the good bit that, of course, you would have seen here today and in all the events, the girls really enjoying this game, very passionate about the sport. You can see it in the focus and concentration. So 18 points. And we're very keen on finishing their contest without a blemish. That's what it looks like Amo Kyo Secondary are aiming for. So St. Margaret's now 7 points behind. Estelle to serve for Amo Kyo Secondary. Well, kept it together right up till the end. Lovely rally. Now Atika to serve for St. Margaret's. It's been a while since the birdie returned to her side of the fence, or her side of the net. Oh, just managing to get that serve over the line. So very close. Oh, well done there by Siobhan. Delightful play from the young lady. And it is game point for them. Got a couple of game points here. Oh, beautiful placement. Beautiful placement. Lovely touch there from Mavis for St. Margaret's. And it is Mavis who will serve. And Siobhan would have wanted that shot, would have wanted to finish it as soon as she could. So it's now even Stevens, 1 game all. And this is the first game that has been actually stretched to the wire. The second doubles contest between Mavis Lim Shin Ning and Nurul Atika binti Mohammad Rizal, representing St. Margaret's Secondary, and Siobhan Sowan Ting of Amo Kyo Secondary School, along with Ung Sishin Estelle. So Siobhan and Estelle representing Amo Kyo Secondary. It's been a very good contest, and 1 game all. Well, puts this into the best of 3, into the finale. Left to be seen how this contest turns out. Remember, this is the 4th event between the schools battling it out for 3rd and 4th position. Well, the 3rd position already capped off by Amo Kyo Secondary after they won their first 3 events. That was the singles event, which was won by Jiang Xiangyi. She defeated Celeste Changinja of St. Margaret's 21-12, 21-19. Then the doubles, it was Ami and Jamin of Amo Kyo Secondary who won it over Chengyi and Tiffany Yeo of St. Margaret's. And that was 21-15, 22-20. And then Crystal Leon of Amo Kyo Secondary winning her battle 21-12, 21-8 over Natalie Yuning of St. Margaret. So those 3 events ensuring Amo Kyo Secondary their 3rd place finish in the National School Games Badminton South Zone B Division Girls Championship 2021. So here we are. A true test here of character as Amo Kyo Secondary and St. Margaret's battle it out in their 3rd and final game in the second doubles contest. Amo Kyo Secondary do have the serve. And now it's over to St. Margaret's. Atika. Just a few unforced errors from the Amo Kyo Secondary girls, but that doesn't stay for too long. They've proved their ability to get back into the contest. Oh, wonderfully done here by Mavis. for St. Margaret's, keeping those points together. Atika to serve once again. Oh, that is absolutely delightful play from the St. Margaret's girls this time. Just a slight loss of concentration there for Siobhan. They are 4 points behind. Atika with the serve. I just wanted to push that a bit more, flight it a bit more. That birdie wouldn't behave for Atika, so it's now back to the girls of Amokyo Secondary. Estelle unable to hold that serve, so Mavis will pick it up for St. Margaret's. 5 points to 1. Unable to reach that. Did make the attempt, Mavis. Well done by Siobhan to hold her own. It's definitely been a fight here. Definitely been a wonderful fight as far as, well, the girls are concerned in the second doubles matchup. Ah, that's killer instinct from Estelle. No chances there. No relief. Just a clean finish. Siobhan to serve for Amokyo Secondary. I was looking at that placement, just putting it beyond the line. So the serve returns to St. Margaret's, and it's Atika. Two very unique game actually. This one, the second doubles. Two very contrasting styles of play between the girls, and it's so interesting to watch at this level. The Amokyo Secondary girls, very flamboyant. They've enjoyed their game, both Siobhan and Estelle. There's smiles all around. And for St. Margaret's, of course, this is a matter of pride. The girls very focused and serious. So Atika and Mavis, I haven't seen them break into a smile. Probably after the game, but right now it's Siobhan to serve for Amokyo Secondary. I think I was trying to get that just inside the line, just failing to knock that through. So Siobhan back again, but the serve for Amokyo Secondary, unable to keep that together for too long. The St. Margaret's girls now behind by a point. Did start off well in this game, but a very good comeback from Amokyo Secondary. And that's straight out of line. So St. Margaret's back in it. Atika with the serve. A lovely return from Mavis. Well, almost does it, almost, but Estelle in control of this rally at the end. To the lead by 2 points, Amokyo Secondary. So first break, as far as the game is concerned, the mandatory, well, a few seconds where you do get a bit of advice, and of course a few pointers. Currently 11 points, and in the lead it's Amokyo Secondary. Let's remind you that we've finished off with the first and the second place match, which was fought between Fairfield Methodist and Raffles Girls Secondary School. And it's Raffles, of course, who had a clean sweep. And they were declared South Zone B Division Girls Champions 2021. As far as the third and the fourth place finish go, Amokyo Secondary ensuring that they took the third place. This, of course, is a match for pride. So we are playing the fourth event between the schools. This is the second doubles contest, and it's Mavis and Atika representing St. Margaret's and playing against Siobhan and Estelle of Amokyo Secondary. It's one game all, and in the third and final game, it is Amokyo Secondary who lead 11 to 8 points. It's now Mavis to serve. Latika just trying to knock that back. The birdie coming at her a bit too fast. Oh, beautifully done. Lovely shot. Just kept it within the line, Mavis. And Atika to serve for St. Margaret's. Talk about a quick reply. And that's what you want. That's what Siobhan does best here. Estelle now to serve for Amokyo Secondary. And as long as you well watch it and leave it wisely, that's really the key. Sometimes, well, that birdie could play tricks and land within the line. Oh, lovely return there. Quick thinking on the part of Siobhan. Estelle backing it up. An outstanding rally. Very well done. Both sides of the net. Well, the girls just delighting us there with very intense play in this doubles contest. It's going to be Mavis to serve for St. Margaret's. 2 points behind Amokyo Secondary. Well, almost does it straight into the net, but it's still a fancy enough move for Amokyo Secondary. Siobhan to serve. St. Margaret's will win it back. Mavis doing her bit, and Atika will serve at 13 to 15. But she normally does get most of her serves right. Just a few unforced errors in this game. And Siobhan and Estelle still trying to decide who's going to take the serve. Estelle here. Well, almost does it for her. That pushes it back to St. Margaret's, and this time it will be Mavis to take it. 2 points behind Amokyo Secondary are St. Margaret's. Well, just forcing her into a position to play that. Well done there by the St. Margaret's young ladies. It's been a fairly close battle between the two. Mavis will take the serve. It's just giving that birdie a bit of a push. Well, sometimes those shots can be the smartest. Excellent move there from Estelle. You feign the finish, keep it light. Gentle touch there to deceive the opponent, and it's 17 to 5. Siobhan with the serve. They'll hold on to it. St. Margaret's still in it very much. Atika with the serve. Talk about a quick finish and inching towards match point. Just a point away for the time being. Estelle with the serve for Amokyo Secondary. Ah, Siobhan could have got that right. Was looking for that finish. It's one of the shots she likes to play. But it's back to St. Margaret's. Can they stay in the contest? Here's Mavis. Well done. Estelle just making sure that they've hit match point. And, well, this could be another win for Amokyo Secondary unless St. Margaret's can upset the apple cart here. Siobhan with the serve. And we'll just drag that out of the line. But a good game there. So Amokyo Secondary winning this 21-17. It's been a fantastic finish from them in the end. Losing the first game, but winning the second and the third game to claim the match. It was Siobhan Sowanthing and Angzi Shin Estelle. So Siobhan and Estelle defeating Mavis Lim Shin Ning and Nurul Atika Binti Mohammad Rizal to claim the fourth event for Amokyo Secondary. We had a good fight put up here by St. Margaret's, and probably the most delightful game of all the four events that we saw today. So excellent play by St. Margaret's. And we're down to our fifth event of the day, with Amokyo Secondary having claimed third position in all four events. Our fifth event, of course, is the singles between Go Shuen Lee and Pauline Manabat Supan. So Pauline representing Amokyo and Shuen Lee representing St. Margaret's. So that pretty much will be the last and final game of the day. Well, just a reminder that this is the National School Games, a badminton contest, an initiative by the Singapore School Sports Council, or the SSSC. We were catching the South Zone B Division Girls Championship 2021 action, and the first game, of course, the first contest was for the first and second place finish, where Raffles Girls School Secondary ran away with it over Fairfield Methodist Secondary. Now here's the important bit. In the third and the fourth place, Amokyo Secondary claiming their stake and winning the first four events to claim the third position. And it's the last game of that contest. And I'd say this is a game of pride. Shuen Lee of St. Margaret's battling it out with Pauline. Pauline representing Amokyo Secondary. So, last bit of action for today. It's been a very, very pleasant day. We've had some really great contests. None of them really being too one-side, except maybe just one of the games, which I will not refer to, but it was still a battle all said and done. But most of the contests here between these schools, as in between St. Margaret's and Amokyo Secondary, have been very, very strong. Especially the last doubles encounter. Well, Siobhan and Estelle dominating it in the last two games, but a very, very good game put up by St. Margaret's through Mavis and Atika. And that's what you want to see. You always want to see a contest. A one-sided win is never really delightful, neither for the contestant, neither for the viewer. So as the girls get ready, let's very quickly remind you that even with all the COVID restrictions and the worries that we've had, the games have been on, and it's been a real bit of encouragement for most of the younger generation, for most of, well, those that hold the keys to the future. That's a more politically correct way to put it. We are going to start off with the last game. The first point already. Xuan Lei picking up 2 straight points over her opponent, Pauline Manabat Supan. It's over to Pauline for Amokyo Secondary. It's looking at a cross finish. Not in control of that rally, Pauline. Well, just that gentle touch. Just looking to get that over. 3 points to 2. It's Xuan Lei to serve. Trying to gently lift that over. Pauline still, well, getting her rhythm in this game. Oh, lovely move there from Xuan Lei. Well, just the right amount of momentum required to push that birdie across. And still holding on to her lead for St. Margaret. She's now 6 points ahead, 4 points ahead. Few unforced errors from Pauline. Oh, beautifully done. First the touch, then the execution, and it's so unassuming, so very well played to win the serve back. It's back to Xuan Lei. How often do you see, well, the birdie or the shuttlecock that gains so much flight? Most players do like to keep it down nowadays, but it's always very elegant to see it sail. And that one sailed out of the line. So 9 points to 4. Xuan Lei of St. Margaret's leads Pauline of Amokyo Secondary. It's down to 10. Sailed out of line, so Pauline gets the serve. Oh, lovely touch there from Pauline. So it's now 6 points to 10. Well, going across, so important. And, just closing the gap now. Definitely finding a rhythm. Oh, that's so much in control. Drags that across to perfection. And that's what you want to do. So it's 11 points in the first break as Xuan Lei leads Pauline. Pauline representing Amokyo Secondary, Xuan Lei for St. Margaret's. This is the 5th and final event, which is also the 3rd singles contest between the schools. It's been a delightful run by Amokyo Secondary and well, a fantastic performance by both schools. It's really been worth every bit of time spent here to watch them. So much of training and well, skill required for the contest, and there's a good amount of dedication from these young ladies. So the proof in the pudding is really what you see on the court today. Some of them will go on, of course, to different careers. Some might actually stay on the courts, and you might see them either representing national level or clubs, or actually wearing the country's colors someday. I did have a chance to talk to the primary lads in table tennis yesterday, and so many of them really eyeing that opportunity, involved in the government's development scheme for table tennis players, and they're looking forward to playing for the country someday. That's really the ultimate goal, isn't it? So right here in this game, we're back to the first game of the fifth and final contest between St. Margaret's and Amokyo Secondary. And Pauline just pulling close, looking to get back on level footing. She's had a few words from a coach and mentor, and that's such an important part of this sport, isn't it? Well, almost does it for her, almost. Well, you look at most other sports, but it's normally racket sports where, you know, having the coach on court or having your mentor close by always makes a difference. And it's such a fast game when it comes to reflexes and decision as far as the shots are concerned. And that's exactly what I mean. You have split seconds to really think of where to place it. Well done by Pauline. She's now a point behind Xuanlei of St. Margaret's. Gentle push there, and she's done well. Good thinking. Xuanlei just reminded about his side for the serve. The side of the court, to be precise. Well, just going in for the kill. Just couldn't power that over the net, so Pauline still very much in this contest. That sail out of line as well for Pauline. Not the best. Oh, lovely return from Xuanlei. You gotta wait and watch. And as long as it's gonna go wide, well, that's when you serve back again. Pauline just a point behind. Oh, that's beautiful placement. Gauge that perfectly. A little break in momentum always required, but if you do try, a lovely shot there from Xuanlei. Just looking for the finish, and she finally does get it. It's a gentle finish that works, so back again at 1 point lead. Flighting that much. And this time, it's a good reply from Xuanlei, who's been subject to a lot of placement shots by Pauline, but she's done well. Well, gentle push, decent enough play. We'll see the young lady from Amokyo staying very much in this contest. It's actually been neck and neck as far as the points are concerned. Just a point or a two lead here and there, and once again it'll be Xuanlei to serve. Well, that move always works for Xuanlei. Goes in for the smash and then just a gentle touch. Tough to pull off actually in any sport, but in badminton it's so important because your footwork remains the same. It's just your wrist and arm movement that tends to, well, restrict itself, and to hold that back is so difficult. So 19 points to 15. Xuanlei still with the serve. And it's the first game point. It's got a couple of game points actually. So Xuanlei A lovely flick that she does have. Was that in the line? It most certainly was. So not throwing in the towel. Under no circumstances, Pauline. She's still very much in it. Oh, lovely rally. Lovely rally. A lovely finish from Pauline of Amokyo Secondary. So 17 points. Another game point here for Xuan Lei. This one was controlled by her. She knew that. Just confident of that finish, so she does win the first game. 21-17. So that's the second game won by St. Margaret's today. In the second doubles, there was one game. And very interesting how this contest is going to pan out. Let me give you a quick recap. This, of course, is the Singapore School Sports Council National School Games Badminton Contest. It's the South Zone B Division Girls Championship, which, of course, was won by Raffles Secondary School, or Raffles Girls Secondary School. They defeated Fairfield Methodist School just a while back. The third and fourth place finish was claimed by Amokyo Secondary by winning their first three, and then, of course, the fourth event, which meant 2 singles and 2 doubles encounters. They're down to their third singles encounter, and this one is being fought between Xuan Lei of St. Margaret's Secondary and Pauline of Amokyo Secondary School. Currently, Xuan Lei leading by winning the first game, 21-17. So very interesting to see what happens in the next game. Will this be a clear win for St. Margaret's? Will Pauline fight back to stretch it to a best of 3? Some of the key battles that were played today. The Zhang Shangyi starting it off in a really flamboyant fashion, defeating Celeste Chang Yin-Jiao of St. Margaret's to win the first singles. And then after that, it was a trail of wins for Amokyo Secondary. Yes. Well, almost did it for Xuan Lei, but Pauline putting the serve now. Oh, that's beautifully done by Pauline. 10 on 10 there for that move. She's got a clear lead here in this game. And 3 straight points. Very impressive from the young lady from Amokyo Secondary. We'll talk about some delightful play. It's got that ability to touch it. You wouldn't expect too much of power from her, but she's got that ability to knock it hard when she needs to. Pauline handing the serve over to Xuan Lei of St. Margaret. And she's managed to keep that birdie within the line on a couple of occasions. So Pauline still in the lead here. A wonderful play from the girls and lovely finish there from Xuan Lei. Well, some of the only sports where legally breaking the momentum is always a part of the procedure. And badminton's so important for that. That's the same with probably even tennis sometimes, although in tennis it doesn't really affect the game as much when you ask for a timeout. But in badminton, it's when a player is on a roll, you break the momentum and it changes the entire outcome, or at least gives you a second lease of life. So Pauline's still in the lead, serving at 7 points. That's exactly what I meant. You would think that she wouldn't power those shots, but she's got that really good flick of the wrist. And now she's, well, still a few points ahead of the contest, or of a competitor, Xuan Lei, who pretty much dominated the first game, partially. In this game, she's found it tough. And the serve will go over to, well, just a slight moment needed there to compose herself. Well, attempting to go cross-court, sometimes it can have its drawbacks, just in case you drag that birdie a bit too much. So Pauline to serve, 9 points to 3. Gentle touch there. I do remember one of the most, well, key lessons that you learn in badminton. It's that use of that wrist. It's almost like in squash. You need a strong wrist to power things through, and sometimes it's the most, well, non-athletic or thinnest of players who can sometimes have the strongest wrist. So that's the break in the second game, and it's Pauline very clearly with a 7 points lead over her opponent Xuan Lei. This could also be another contest that might go into the best of 3. Very interesting outcome as far as, well, the battle is concerned. You kind of wonder if you would have switched these battles around a bit, brought in the second doubles and the third singles right down to the forefront. Might have been an entirely different contest. But then again, it's been Amo Kyo Secondary that even if they've lost a game, they've been able to come back nice and easy, have actually worked their way back into the contest and won it. But here's a chance for St. Margaret's to finish with a bit of pride. One game that they're looking for, one match win, and very much in control of what she's doing here. That's Pauline of Amo Kyo. Leads by 8 points. Looking to keep that in, but she's been getting that out of line a couple of times over, Xuan Lei. But this time, well, her favorite shot just working for her. She likes that deft touch to feign the strong shot. And the drop shot sometimes has been her key to getting back into the game, but not for too long. Pauline still holding her own. That touch so important, touch and placement. That's the game that this young lady has played right through. There's no flamboyance, just gone about it in a very clinical manner, especially in the second game. Was expecting a call, looking for the change of points. She's held her own. It doesn't seem to be going Xuan Lei's way. That's a huge margin now. Oh, lovely finish. That is an absolutely brilliant finish. Got the angle right, just the right amount of power. So a couple of match points, and it will be interesting to see. And that's the second time around she's done it, winning that second game in style to stay in the contest. So it's 1 game all as Pauline wins the second game by a huge margin, and it's now 1 game all. We're pushed into the finale for the best of 3. Interesting to see how this pans out. Third and final game, and it started off with Xuanlei taking the first point. This has been a good battle between these 2 young ladies, and Pauline once again dominating it. Well, a lot of players actually do possess a different style of play. Some of them tend to be more flamboyant, like the girls you would have seen in the doubles encounter. Some of them tend to be more, well, docile and unassuming, like Pauline. And I'd say those are the ones you've got to be most careful of. They possess a good bit of skill. She's gone about this game, as I said earlier, in a very clinical fashion. It's been very impressive from her. She's made Xuanlei to work just that little bit more, and almost does it for her. Almost. Xuanlei a point ahead, and she'll serve. Xuanlei win this for St. Margaret's? Such a big question, but as of now, the girls are still even Stevens. 3 all. Just about missing the contact there. Just misjudging that a bit, so Xuanlei will hold on to her lead as she serves at 4 points. Just missing her footing slightly there, Pauline. So as it currently stands, Xuanlei is still in the lead. Just a marked difference in the 2 players. If you notice, Xuanlei wins his point, but she does move a lot over the court. She's got a lot more footwork than Pauline, but Pauline just possessing that ability to control it, even without any of the fancy footwork, just does enough. And that's really one of the real strong points of badminton in the sport. If you can make your opponent work up that sweat while you stay in control. So it's Xuanlei now stretching her lead to 5 points ahead of Pauline. She's asked for a timeout. She'll just want to get those soles dry and get her rhythm back, more important than anything else. So Xuanlei with the serve. Stands at 8 points. Almost does it. Just looking for that finish within the line. So Pauline now with the serve. could have had a return there, but it's a bit too difficult when you've got the birdie flying at that speed. So lovely net play, but it's the young lady from Amokyo who will win it. Well, oftentimes we neglect one of the essential elements of badminton, the speed at which the birdie travels at the shuttlecock. It can reach amazing speeds, and well, at any level you see that, even with the young ladies out here today. You've seen that a couple of times over. A few powered smashes. How did she get that within the line? She certainly did. Lovely shot there from Xuan Lei. It's really well to finish that just on the line. And Pauline will win that point. Gentle placement. Xuan Lei just psyching herself up. So it will be a break, and this pretty much is that part of the game where, well, whatever's said, whatever's done, whatever's listened to will make the difference, and we shall see the outcome later on. So into that last bit of action of the day. Currently it's Xuan Lei of St. Margaret's leading by 11 points to 7, and Pauline of Amokyo Secondary, who had a delightful return in the second game. Left to be seen, well, what this battle will tell us. Well, this kind of contest so important, as I said earlier, not just for physical but your overall development, holistic development. Teaches you discipline, dedication and focus. And it's such an amazing sport. So Xuan Lei still holding it serve, but there's Pauline winning it over. So 8 points to 11. Pauline with the serve. That's a shot she just absolutely loves to play, Xuan Lei. We've seen that a couple of times over. It's almost a trademark move. There's Pauline. She will win the serve back. The young lady from Amokyo Secondary. Just wide, so just wide earlier we would have thought, but she got that within the line. That's quite interesting. We're on to the last bit of the game. 13 points to 10. Xuan Lei. Can she finish this, or will Pauline just stall it to win it? Would have said that earlier. She's now on to 11 points. So just a few words from the umpire, and well, the game does continue at a very neck-and-neck race. It's still just a point that separates the two young ladies on the court. It's just missing the contact point here, but seen a lot more footwork from her in this part of the game from Pauline. So Xuan Lei back to serving, at 15 points.
Oh, that's what you call a perfectly planned and a perfectly executed shot.
Pauline Manabat Supan of Ang Mo Kio Secondary, she's done well.
And once again, to draw level. It's now even Stevens, anyone's game to win here
At the Zonghua Secondary School. If you thought you'd have an exciting finish, well, you certainly got it.
And this time, Chuan Lei does well.
Very impressive, these two young ladies on the court. Very, very impressive. They've got a good selection of shots, bit of variation.
Couple of signature moves. There it is, back to Pauline, who's
Really within touching distance all the time of her opponent.
and now takes the lead.
That's really the mark of an excellent player, isn't it? The ability to come from behind always.
Now 2 points ahead. And that's what you call a rally. That's exactly what you call a rally.
Oh, absolutely fantastic play from Pauline. She's now up to 19 points. What a turn around it has been after losing that first game. Now Xuan Lei, who's also delighted us right through with her ability and her skill. Good push there to keep that up. Gentle touch now from Pauline. And it's Xuan Lei, who's up to 18 points.
That's just sailed wide, so it's even Stevens back again. 19 all.
Oh, she was just cruising before this, Pauline.
And looks like she's got that drive back.
So here we are at match point.
And she's done it. What a fantastic performance. Very unassuming, this young lady, but she's delighted us. Pauline Manat Supan, well, defeating Go Xuan Lei of St. Margaret's Secondary School. Wonderful performance from the young lady for Ang Mo Kio Secondary School. And that completes the clean sweep absolutely clean sweep for Ang Mo Kio Secondary School by winning all 5 events. They won all 3 singles and they won both the doubles. So they sweep the 3rd place position with a 5-0 finish. Very, very interesting. Great performances, especially the second doubles and the last singles game was really delightful. What a contest with the young ladies on. Credit and to St. Margaret's Secondary School as well for their performance, and to Ang Mo Kio Secondary for their wonderful performance. It's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon here at the Zonghua School.
Cameraman ready? Okay. Captain ready? Okay, right now we will give away the prizes for the 3rd and 4th position. So similarly, you'll get Miss Cindy Low, Principal of Chonghua Secondary School, convener of the South Zone Badminton Championship. Okay,
So we're down to the prize presentation. It's, as we said earlier, it's been such a wonderful evening, and if you thought that the finale was really something to look at, I think the third and the fourth place contest, that was something worth watching right through. We've really been delighted by the young ladies on the court.
Team captain to come and collect the trophy. Margaret Secondary School.
So the team captain will come and take the fourth place position, and this of course is for St. Margaret's. That was Natalie Yuning, came to collect it. And taking the third place trophy for Ang Mo Kio Secondary.
Thank you, Ms. Low. Thank you, everyone.
Good job, everyone.
So the captain of Ang Mo Kio Rents taking the third place trophy, and that was Ang Mo